Hello everyone, and welcome to another FastTrack update. Hopefully, most of you already know me, but for those of you who don't, my name is Humbik, and I'm one of the senior consultants at Incentro. Continuing on with the topic of Zero Trust, this month I'm going to bring you everything you need to know about the fourth foundational pillar of Zero Trust, data. So make sure to keep watching to find out what capabilities are available within Microsoft 365 to ensure you hit the Data Zero Trust deployment objectives, and in case you missed it, make sure you check out last month's FastTrack update where I discussed the third foundational pillar of applications. Buckle up and here we go. Protecting data is one of the primary responsibilities of security and compliance teams. Data should remain protected while at rest, in use, and when in transit. To ensure protection and that data access is restricted to authorized users, data should be inventoried, classified, labeled, and where appropriate, encrypted. The three core elements of a data protection strategy are: number one, knowing your data. If you don't know what sensitive data you have on premises and in cloud services, how will you protect it? Number two, protect your data and prevent data loss. Sensitive data needs to be protected by data protection policies that label and encrypt data or block oversharing to ensure only authorized users are able to access the data. And number three, monitor and remediate. Continue to monitor sensitive data to detect policy violations and risky user behavior. When data and sensitive content is understood, labeled and classified, organizations can then inform and enforce policy decisions to block or remove emails, attachments, or documents, encrypt files with sensitivity labels on device endpoints, auto-classify content with sensitivity labels through policy and machine learning, and finally, track and monitor sensitive content using policies as the content travels inside and outside your digital estate. Keep watching as I'll now take you through the deployment objectives that will help you implement these measures across your organization. Protect your most sensitive data with encryption to restrict access to content that sensitivity labels are applied to. When a document or email is encrypted, access to the content is restricted so that it is encrypted both at rest and in transit, remains encrypted no matter where it resides, inside or outside your organization, even if the file is renamed, and can be decrypted only by users authorized by the label's encryption settings. To avoid issues with data not being labeled manually or labels being applied inaccurately, automate data classification. The strategic client selection for Windows leverages built-in information protection features in Microsoft Office. If this is not possible, an alternative solution would be to use the Azure Information Protection Unified Labeling Client. If you haven't yet moved corporate data to SharePoint Online, you can use the Azure Information Protection Scanner to automatically classify and protect files for SharePoint 2013 and above and on-premises file servers. Enterprises have vast amounts of data that can be challenging to adequately label and classify. Once you've completed the encryption and classification objectives, the next step is to use machine learning for smarter classification. Microsoft 365 provides three ways to classify content, and these are: number one, manually; number two, automated pattern matching; and number three, trainable classifiers, which learns how to identify a type of content by looking at hundreds of examples of content you're interested in classifying. The classifier then makes predictions as to whether any given item falls into the category you're building, and when you publish the trained classifier, it sorts through items in locations like SharePoint Online, Exchange Online, and OneDrive and classifies the content. For data stored in Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive, automatic classification with sensitivity labels can be deployed via policies to targeted locations. Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps provides additional capabilities to manage sensitive files, including number one, the removal of collaborators to prevent excessive privilege and data leakage; number two, placing files into quarantine for additional review; and number three, creating policies that proactively apply labels to sensitive files or in specific risky user scenarios. Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps lets you automatically apply sensitivity labels from Microsoft Information Protection. These labels will be applied to files as a file policy governance action, and depending on the label configuration, can apply encryption for additional protection. By integrating Microsoft Information Protection into Defender for Cloud Apps, you can use the full power of both services and secure files in Microsoft 365, including the ability to apply sensitivity labels as a governance action to files that match specific policies, the ability to view all classified files in a central location, the ability to investigate according to classification labels, and finally, the ability to create policies to make sure classified files are being handled properly. To comply with business standards and industry regulations, organizations must protect sensitive information and prevent its inadvertent disclosure. Sensitive information can include financial data or personally identifiable information, such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, or health records. With a data loss prevention policy in the Security and Compliance Center, you can identify, monitor, and automatically protect sensitive information across Microsoft 365. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Data Zero Trust. If you'd like to know more, or need assistance with deploying any of the features I've spoken about today to help achieve your Data Zero Trust deployment objectives across your organization, please feel free to get in contact with me at the email address below to discuss how FastTrack can assist, and I'll see you at the next FastTrack update.